Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Kate.
And this is my roommate, Kirsten.
This is my roommate, Kirsten. A lot of you guys have met her, but
Hello.
we're starting a podcast.
Podcast for the vlog, though.
And honestly, like, this is not serious, but it's also serious. Like, we're going to actually talk like we have a podcast. But we're totally aware that this is imposter syndrome.
This is not a podcast. Like, it's a podcast, but not a podcast.
It was just, like, a fun way to spice up Vlogmas. Yeah. And, like, Kirsten's into it, and I honestly thank her for being such, like, a good supporter and friend and just, like, vlogging in general. So
I like talking. So, like, the podcast is easy.
And, like, this is fun. Like, what else are we going to do on a weeknight after work?
Typically, I go to bed at 9, so...
Yeah, honestly, we're typically not up this late.
No.
It's actually not that late. It's 8:29.
Oh, okay. So I still have an hour.
Yeah.
Before my bedtime.
So, anyway, you guys know me a little bit. I'm going to kind of give my 2 cents as we're talking through, like, some introductions, but we figured we would, like, introduce ourselves and do a little, like, get to know me. I'm Kate, as you guys know.
Oh my gosh, hi, nice to meet you.
Thank you. I grew up in New Jersey as well. South Jersey. So did Kirsten. We met there.
South Jersey girls. We're very much so Jersey girls.
Yeah. And now we're living in the city. And I went to Widener for college. Mm-hmm. And I majored in sociology and I minored in human resources. So now I am a talent acquisition specialist and HR representative for a little company.
Do you have like any hobbies though that you like?
Oh, do I have hobbies?
Yeah, like what do you like to do? Or like what did you do also growing up? I feel like you were really active.
Oh, like yeah, I was. I actually, when I was younger, I was a figure skater. And then it comes to a point where they're like, you need to be homeschooled. And I was like, no. So then I took up field hockey and I actually really thrived in like those sports. I feel like I've always been like a thicker girl or like muscular girl. Like even when I was little and like skinny, I was like still always built. So I actually ended up being pretty successful at field hockey and lacrosse and softball. And that was the route that I took. I stopped playing in college though.
You ski?
Yeah, I ski.
Yeah.
I also can snowboard, but I don't prefer that.
Yeah.
I'm learning Italian.
Yeah, we're both learning Italian on Duolingo. I have to find them. I do have like Italian grammar books.
Yeah.
That I have zero. Like when we moved, they got lost in translation.
Yeah, and we have to do some Italian nights for the vlog too, like after Vlogmas.
Oh, that would be
like
fun.
Real ones.
Yeah, like wine.
Where we don't speak English.
Fun. That will be hard.
I know like 3 words.
Yeah.
La mela. It's an apple. La donna mangia la mela. The woman eats the apple. It's working.
We'll have Italian nights and you're just like La donna.
La donna mangia la mela. Current hobbies though, I would say I'm really into makeup and skincare, but like it's more so like a hobby with myself. Like anytime that I just like need a break from society, which is literally 9 times out of 10, I'm just like doing a face mask or some kind of like skincare. Petting 7.
Self-care.
I love dinner and drinks. Like that is my vibe right now. That's like how I like to have fun. Like if I'm going out, it's definitely dinner and drinks or like dinner and drinks that lead to the next bar. Like those are my best nights.
Yeah, like not a packed club with 21-year-olds. Not the vibe.
Yeah, and I feel like because I know that about myself, whenever somebody's like, oh, you want to go out tonight? And it's like, that's the plan right from the get-go. I think I like kind of get anxiety right from the start. And then it's like, if I'm not...
had fun at like Allie's birthday because that was like all planned out.
But also when it's a birthday, it's a little different. Like when it's someone's birthday, I'm super excited to like go and have a good time for them. But
all right, so about me, I'm Kate's roommate. My name's Kirsten. We've known each other since middle school, actually.
I think 6th grade.
Yeah. So we've known each other for...
I have no idea how old we were.
15 years at this point. That's disgusting.
Yeah. Well, if we graduated
in 2014.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2010 was 8th grade plus or minus 2 years. 2008. Shut up. That's been like 15 years.
Yeah, I just said 15.
Oh.
So we've known each other for 15 years, which is wild to think
about.
That
is wild considering that we're 27. Yeah, that's most of our life.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah, that's how we know each other. That's how we became roommates.
Yeah.
Kept in touch all this time, which is crazy.
Honestly, the funniest thing about it is that I literally didn't really say anything to anybody, but internally knew my lease was ending. And I've lived here, you guys knew, in the studio for like 3 years. And I was just kind of maxing out of the studio, like price-wise, but also just space-wise. Like to live in a studio for 3 years, I was honestly like fine. But at the same time, I was like, I just kind of want a different room.
So much space for a little less price.
Yeah. And I was just like, okay, I'm paying almost as much as like a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom with somebody, but I'm in a studio. So I was like, not fun. And then I like was just thinking internally, like, what am I gonna do when my lease is up? And we went to Jim Morello's, the place that me and Beth went the other day.
G-bar.
And literally Kirsten was like, I'm done my PhD, I'm moving to the city, I have a job. If anybody wants a roommate, like, let me know. And I feel like you kind of said it, not like super serious, but also like, if anybody really is looking, like, let me know. And I randomly was like, I would be interested.
Yeah.
And it just happened.
Yeah, it just happened. But yeah, so I went to Lehigh, got my bachelor's in chemical engineering and minored in business. Then I went to Penn State and got my PhD in chemical engineering, which that was a long time. So those two schools were in really small towns. That's why I was like, I'm moving to Philly. I have a job right now that's outside of the city, so I do commute pretty much every day. I'm trying to work from home like at least once a week. The holiday season's so much easier because nobody's there. So I'm like, I'm working from home. I was like, I know I want to live in the city because I love the city atmosphere at least. And there's so many things to do and so many people here versus a small town. I get so bored. Hobbies of mine, I danced. Pretty much that's all I did when I grew up. I ski too, but I'm like injury prone, so I had a broken foot, a torn ACL. I haven't skied in a while.
We actually went skiing together one time. It was so fun.
Our families.
We were so young.
We were in high school, right?
Yeah.
It was like blue or camelback or something.
Yeah, it had to have been like, I think freshman or sophomore year, something like that. Maybe sophomore.
Where our dad just let us like go. I think that's the first time I was able to ski by myself because I was with you and like not with a parent.
Yep.
But now we live in the city and I'm loving it. Another hobby I would say is like I love to travel.
Pilates too.
Pilates, yeah.
Yeah, tell them about your trip that you went on.
I'll start with working out though. Essentially, I'm paying like buco dinero. I don't know where that came from.
What is that? Alexa, what is buco dinero?
Dinero is a lover boy who is affectionate and enjoys attention with others. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks. Anyway.
So I don't think I meant it like that.
No.
But I'm paying a lot for something because I need to pay someone to actually get me physically active. I can't just like go to the gym. I just like there's too many people down in our gym when I go that it's so overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like I hate having to wait and like it just makes it so much longer. So I'm paying for Pilates and right now I'm enjoying it.
I honestly support that 100% because I only go to our gym so frequently because I can go during the day working from home. Because like even yesterday when I went like later in the day, it was just getting like not super packed, but to the point where like I don't really have to think about it. Yeah. Look at 7 in the sink.
7? No, that's so gross. Get out of the sink.
7.
That's so gross.
Like she's fully in there. Anyway,
yeah. Because I used to have a personal trainer when I tore my ACL and had to recover. So that started me. Like I was pretty active before COVID. COVID really messed me up because of injuries. Ever since I started paying for something, I'm going. You know, I can't miss it.
Yeah. I also feel like it's like a fun hour of your day and then it's like done. Like sometimes when you go to the gym, it's like you're either like aimlessly walking around and you like, can't.
Do I want to do this exercise or this exercise? Unless you plan it out. And sometimes like I'm not planning.
I went to the gym with Eric the first couple times when I first like started getting into a routine. And we went through like weeks of what I would do.
For, and like, different parts of the body.
Yeah. And I literally still do that to this day. And there was one point in time where I was like, I'm bored. I need you to come and we need to change up the routine. And he did it. And I'm still on that routine and it hasn't gotten bored yet. But I think it's because I kind of haven't gone as consistently the last couple of weeks, just like with the holidays. Yeah. And I was sick and then moving. It was just like a lot. So I'm on a pretty good routine, but like every once in a while I just like skip a day.
No, I'm trying to. I have like maybe a back injury. It hurts.
Maybe. I'm injury prone.
I'm injury prone. I don't know what I did. One day it's just started and it's just keep getting worse. And I took all 5 days though. I did take all 5 days and it's still bad. So I think
I need to get a massage.
No, I think I'm gonna tell the instructor it's like that I have an injury, and then if they ask what, I'm gonna be like, pain.
If you have questions too, I can ask my dad like what you're feeling, and he can say like, oh, I think that's this, like, and then he could tell you like what movements would affect that or whatever.
It's like I feel it in my planks for sure. So it's definitely like part of my back that goes to my back and my arm and shoulder. Yeah. So it's like a deltoid.
I wasn't anatomy, but another fun fact, I did not like anatomy at all, so I stopped taking that course, and I used to be sociology physical therapy, dissecting something every day, and I was like, no thank you. Yeah, I just like honestly
deal with non-living things.
Yeah. Okay, so let's back it up because I feel like we went to a really good high school. They were
really aggressive. Like progressive and like
Progressive, yeah.
what you wanted to do, going to college. We had
Yeah.
little like departments essentially, like
Yeah.
for pre like what is it
Yeah.
called? Pre-med?
Pre-med, like they
engineering.
They had like a lot of courses. Like we took anatomy.
Yeah.
They had opportunities for like dissections, like things like
Yeah.
that in high school that were kind of like rare. So I remember in anatomy class, like I really loved it, and I think I just really liked the camaraderie.
I also think we had a great teacher.
Yeah, we had a great teacher. She was awesome, and then our like camaraderie was good because like we were in with a bunch of kids who like really wanted to learn, and we just like all had fun together all the time. So it was just like fun. I don't know, it was just fun.
Were you in my group or no?
I think I was in the other class. I was with Lauren and Allie. But you were in the other class, right?
Who was I with? I thought I was with
You might have been
Lauren
in
and
ours.
Allie.
100% then we were in the same class.
Okay.
So
can't even remember. I blacked out high school.
Yeah, I don't remember who was in her classes. But basically that was like my thing. I was like, oh, I'm definitely into this. And then my dad was a physical therapist and my mom was an occupational therapist. Yeah. And I was like,
they dealing with bodies.
Yeah, and they 100% did not push me to go into their field. But I was like, oh, they have a life that like I enjoy living, obviously. I want to create that for myself. I'm going to go and be physical therapy. So I started out and it was so fun and I kind of liked the little labs at first freshman year and like all my little prerequisites. Mm-hmm. And then we were in anatomy lab.
That's still freshman year?
Yeah, the second semester. So like I've always been one to like be into school and like studies for something and pass. Mm-hmm. And then you just like keep working at it and you like look around the room and you realize everyone is so into this. Mm-hmm. And I just was not. And I was like, if I have to look at one more cat, I'm going to freak out. Or they'd be like, oh my gosh, that muscle's so cool. If you pull it this way, like this leg moves. And I was like, I feel nothing.
You know what's weird though? I feel like as we get older, back then, the gore, you know, nothing used to bother me. I would be interested. I'd be the one that was dissecting because other people wouldn't want to touch the bodies and stuff. Not the body. Yeah. It's like animals. But like as I get older, I'm like, I can't. I don't want to. I'm like squeamish. I don't want to look at that stuff. I don't care about the medical dramas and horrors. And like true crime, I know so many people are. I used to be in so much true crime, and then I'm like,
yeah, I'm not super into it. Like I know a lot of people that are. Like I'll watch a true crime something, but yeah, I'm not like fascinated. And then like when it ends, like I can move on. Yeah, like I'm not into the theme.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like I think as we get older, our interests change too.
Yeah, but I definitely see exactly what you mean. Like I was into it in high school, like I loved it, and then as we were looking around the room, like there was just a level of me that was like. I wasn't disgusted by it. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, that's a cat. I can't believe I'm doing this. Like, I was just not mentally stimulated. Like, I was looking at it and I was like, this is doing nothing for me.
Does HR mentally stimulate?
Yeah. So when I was in my social classes, I loved it. I really like open conversations and like opinions, and like sociology was one of those things where like figuring out like why society is the way it is and how it affects you as like an individual. And then I know I had one class called The Family that was like so crazy, and it was talking about how like people are a certain way they are because of the way they grew up, or like how their family like dynamic,
nurture versus nature, right?
Yeah, all of that, but like so extreme, and I loved it. And I felt like in those classes I was participating so much. I could easily write every single paper. I was passing tests, and it like was mentally stimulating as opposed to those science classes. So that's how I knew that like that was more my path. And then like what do you do with just a sociology degree? Like I would just, the gate was like way too far open, so I was like, all right, I need to like focus in. And I had one business class like as a random elective, and the guy was like a father, and his daughter came in and taught about how she was like a recruiter. And I just like was thinking about that and how we were both in a sorority, not the same one obviously because we were different schools.
Yeah, I mean, they have the same.
Yeah, it could be the same one.
Yeah, mine's national.
Yeah, so it's mine. But we weren't in the same sorority. But we were both like in that. So I got really involved. I was the president. I was an education director. Like I was involved, and I really loved recruitment. That was like one of my favorite things. Just welcoming somebody into something like bigger than themselves type of thing. Yeah. So that basically became my job.
I'm very opposite.
I was gonna say, talk about your whole experience and how you got into what you're in.
So I do like science and math. I do like cosmetics also. Cosmetics is how I got into chemical engineering. You know, in high school, you're all like, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm still technically a doctor, just not in the medical sense.
She's a doctor, guys.
I technically am, but not in the medical sense. I can't prescribe any meds or give you any advice besides Google.
But she is my therapist.
But I am
so she is
legally not a therapist. Anyway, cosmetics, skincare, hair care, fragrance, makeup, what drives the ingredients in that, the formulation. The fuck was that?
That was my phone.
Okay. Essentially, I like the conception of makeup and what we can put on the skin and what's toxic and what will make us break out. Because I have really acne-prone skin, so I've always broken out. I've really sensitive skin, so I have allergic reactions to a lot of things. So that's why I went into chemical engineering. And right now, I'm technically not in that business, but hopefully one day I could be. My company does have a sector for home and personal care, so I'm learning right now different technologies, but hopefully one day I will end up at some type of realm for that. So that's what drove me. I like the science and numbers. Like I like to analyze numbers. It's more, I mean, there's interpersonal skills that I have. I just didn't want to deal with people on the daily basis in the sense of like bedside manner.
Yeah.
I have little patience for older people.
Same.
So still a doctor, not in the medical sense, in a science sense where I will just need to talk to other people in my field, which we can all nerd out. I'm going to eat a Dorito into the microphone. You want one?
ASMR. Now, after a word from our sponsor.
From our sponsor, Theodore and Seven say, meow.
Well, I wonder if Seven's in the video right now. She potentially could be. I wonder if Ellie's in the video. She potentially could be.
Okay, story behind Ellie. Story time.
I guess I should bring her on just in case she's not.
It's a him. This is Elliot. So I got him I might have gotten him in college. I was probably really old when I got him because I love elephants. Okay. Things I like. I love elephants. They're my favorite animal. So we have a couple elephants around. Essentially, all the elephants I own I've never bought, actually. Because people just
so
assume
funny that
it's like that and Baby Yoda. Like, I've never bought one for myself.
Okay,
people
me
just buy it for me
as well with Baby Yoda, but
yeah, you say you like something once and they run with it.
But also I think I'm gonna sound like a pick-me for both of us.
Oh, okay.
But we both genuinely enjoy Star Wars. Yeah. Like, we like it.
Oh, yeah.
We like The Mandalorian. We like all the movies.
Mm-hmm.
And
like, I vividly remember seeing them in the theater with my dad.
Me too.
And my parents.
And I think that, like, when you tell somebody that as, like, a female who doesn't, like, I don't think that fits our generic personality. No. Maybe yours a little bit because...
Thanks.
I was gonna say, like,
maybe a little bit because you're a fucking nerd.
I know, I was gonna say, so, like, sciencey.
There's just like no science behind.
I'm in the bathroom like trying to be an influencer. Like, I don't think it goes in my personality. But I grew up with brothers, so I was just like always like watching boy stuff.
Yeah. Also Hayden Christian. What is his name? Hayden Christian.
Oh my goodness! Are you talking about Anakin?
Anakin is so fucking like he's dead.
Would climb that man like a tree.
Yeah. No, he's so fucking hot.
And also like Kylo Ren.
No, I fucking can't.
I think he could get it.
You're on that one.
Okay, well. Darth Maul, it's all about that.
Oh my god.
A little bit of a Q&A.
If you could grow any food in your backyard, what would it be?
Honestly, I think mangoes.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm obsessed with mangoes and I can eat them like a cheeseburger. All I need to do is take the skin off and that's it.
I would also go that route. My dream is to have like a lemon or lime tree. I would die for that, but we don't live in the climate.
My aunt lives in California and she has a lemon tree and it's the best. She goes out there, picks it off.
Picks it?
Yep. It's amazing. She also has an orange one, I think.
That's nice too.
Next question. What kind of new game would you like to create?
How about what's your favorite game?
Okay.
Like board game.
I don't know. I have a lot of games that I like. I really like Ticket to Ride.
Mine's Clue.
I knew this was going to be Clue.
Yes. Clue Master Edition. My father and my mother, we've had one from like probably the 90s. We would bring it every like vacation we went on. Like we would actively bring this large ass game of Clue with us. That it was so old it got destroyed. So 2020, COVID happened. I bought a new one for them.
We're on the hunt. We've been trying to find them another one.
Do I like buy just a new one at Macy's for them and be like, this is your last chance. Do not lose it.
Maybe. Have you checked online like Amazon?
Yeah, no, it's so cheap. I just haven't pulled the trigger yet.
Yeah, you should just get it. Clue is so fun. That is a really good one. It's so fun.
I can talk about it for hours. Oh, do you enjoy living on a farm? Fun fact, my mom owns a horse. She does. His name is Noodle. His full name is Macaroni and Cheese. His nickname Noodle. He sounds like Elvis with a teenage.
I want to go to the farm.
You can. I can maybe ask my mom to go
Our
Saturday.
next farm vlog is at Kirsten's house instead of us.
Maybe I'll ask my mom to go Saturday.
Okay, let's do a pop culture roundup. God. What have you been seeing in pop culture this week, and what do you think of it? I'll go first because I have something on my mind.
Oh, okay.
So I watched the Canceled podcast. You probably have seen clips from this. If you have watched
No,
either
that
TikTok,
is.
Instagram, anything like that. But you might
Fun
not
fact,
have
I'm
seen
not
it.
on TikTok.
Yeah, I was gonna say Kirsten might not have seen it, but you guys might have seen it if you watch that. And I'm gonna educate her on the story and then see kind of like what she has to say about it. It's Tana Mojo. Do you know her? The old YouTuber. And then Brooke Schofield is the other host.
I feel no, she did date Jake Paul.
Oh, she might have. Hold please.
I'm allergic to cats.
And we have
And
two.
we have two.
So they were talking about Matt Rife because you know how everything is going down right now with him?
Yeah.
How he's like the worst.
Yeah.
So literally just last week, well, Brooke had dated him, the brunette that I showed
really?
you. Yeah, so she dated him earlier last year or this year, and now he has a new girlfriend, so obviously he's completely moved on. They're not together because he said he wasn't ready for a relationship. Then he just jumps into a relationship with his current girlfriend, so it was like a weird thing anyway. But at the end of the day, shit happens and whatever. So last week,
they
were
weren't meant for
literally
each other. That's the end of the story.
Exactly. So like she wasn't butthurt about that specific fact.
Yeah.
So last week they were literally talking about how Matt Rife was canceled because their podcast called Canceled is
So they talk
specifically
about like all
that
the people
stuff.
that's canceled.
Yeah, and they'll like have guests on. They themselves have gotten canceled a bunch of times, so that's like why their premise is that. But anyway, Brooke was like so apologetic for him and was just like defending him, and she was basically putting her reputation on the line to be like, guys, I've had no bad interactions with him. He's a nice man, blah, blah, blah. And then she was like, I know that his stuff is whatever, but it's a bit, it's all comedy, whatever. Tana feels differently, but she locked it up. She even said this week she locked it up because she didn't want Brooke to feel the backlash of anything she were to say. So as a friend, she just kind of didn't say anything good, but didn't say anything that she really wanted to say. Fast forward to this week. She was talking about him after the podcast last week, and someone commented that he was dating this girl or this girl's friend like earlier this year. And she was like, oh, that's so interesting. Like, I was dating him earlier this year. So then she like DM'd the girl and was like, hey, like when was, just out of curiosity, like when was that happening? And then she got immediately put into a group chat with a bunch of other girls, and all of their timelines connected. And he told each one of them that he didn't have enough time to have a girlfriend.
But okay, so the new girlfriend, does he have side hoes?
I don't know about that girl. Whatever.
It's so sad because he is like kind of hot.
Yeah, but he's a dick.
Yeah.
And she was saying this one story about how he literally was with her the night before. He goes on a podcast the next day, and he literally said on the podcast, when asked what his type was, he said blonde hair and fake tits. She's brunette. And she was like, yeah, my tits are real. So that was like a little bit alarming.
Is his new girlfriend not blonde? I don't think she is.
I don't know. Was that right after they said that? They were like talking about something else, and he was like, yo, like I have been hooking up with this girl with an Audi vagina. And it's just disgusting. But she was like, all I'm saying is that he went on a podcast
and talked about
literally the day after and said it was disgusting, but you're hooking up with me. And like 2/3 of America has not a vagina, so that's just disrespectful in the first place.
So he does not get so rude. Fucks.
Yeah, so she's popping off about this whole thing. What do we think of that? Anyway,
I think he's a dick.
Like he's sucks.
Disgusting.
Yeah, he sucks so much.
You're getting really heated about this.
I know. That's because poor Brooke. I love her. I stand her so much.
She shouldn't have defended him, knowing that he talked shit about her.
Yeah. That was the whole thing.
All these girls at the same time.
Yeah, and that was Tana's whole point too. Like, girl, you backed him as much as you could.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to see you let it rip. So yeah, they popped off today, and it was amazing. Yeah, today it like just came out today. That's why I think I'm so heated about it.
Just like he's too old for that. I feel like we get to a certain age, it's like, haha, we find things funny at like 25 and younger, probably I would say. But like when you should just be too mature for that shit.
Yeah, he's just weird.
How old is he?
I have no idea.
Right? He's probably our age.
He looks like an elf on the shelf.
Oh, I thought he was kind of cute. And then he came out with all this shit. I'm like, oh, well, you're still cute, but like you're a fucking asshole.
We have different types.
We do have different types.
But also, we have the same type because I like everyone.
Kate has no type.
I like
a type.
Somewhere between, we always joke, like Fletcher Cox, Pete Davidson, Timothy Chalamet.
You're also different. I hate all of, like,
LeBron
I'm not attracted
James.
to any of them that you're naming right now.
I love them all. Just give me a good man, make him tall, 6 foot or above.
She's tall, by the way. Like, don't.
Yeah, I'm 5'8". I'm not shallow. I'm just tall.
Although I've dated some short kings.
I'll date a short king, but I do like to wear heels. Like, I love wearing heels, so I never want to tower over someone. Yeah. And you know what I used to say? Sophia and Joe are a perfect example of if you have a short king, your life could be great, but not even anymore. So
we stand with the queen.
Oh, we stand with the queen of the north.
Yes.
I don't even watch Game of Thrones, but I know she's the Queen of the North.
I cannot listen to Jonas Brothers anymore because of him. Like, he's such a fucking dick.
Cake by the Ocean? How about we drown the fucking cake in the ocean?
My dad's in a band, and he's learning Cake by the Ocean because he's trying to be hip and cool with it, right?
He would learn Cake by the Ocean.
And my dad's like, such a great song, right, Kirsten? Like, you'll dance to it. And I go, so sad.
DNCA. Rip to the band.
Right, I have no pop culture references.
You don't have a single one? Well, that was a pop culture reference. Sophia and Joe, you said you can't listen to the Jonas Brothers. I would say that suffices. Now we're going to hit the sports section.
Oh.
The Eagles lost this week for the second time in a row.
Playing right now?
They might be.
Oh, okay.
I'm like the worst Sixers fan, guys, because, well, I'm not because I love them. But I'm the worst because sometimes in the beginning of the season, I don't care as heavily because the games don't count.
Matter.
Yeah. And their season is so long. And a couple weeks ago, they were doing like the in-season tournament thing. And I was like so confused by that. So I just like bypassed the whole thing. But I'm going to the game on the 16th of January with my dad. So I'm excited.
Saturday?
Oh, no. Not this.
We have Okay. We have family dinner with my family because essentially this was planned back in September or August. I don't know when probably September. So my family, instead of doing gifts exchange, we do a really nice steak dinner at a local inn near our house. And my mom texted me one day and goes, "Hey, Kier, you want a +1 to the family dinner?" Mind you, I'm not dating a male. That could be a podcast, dating in Philly.
Oh, that's a whole episode next week.
Yeah, that's a whole episode next week. But I was like, Mom, no, what? And then I go through it. Every family member who's going is either married, engaged, or in a long-term relationship. And I'm the only single one. My younger brother has been in a relationship for 3 years now. I'm the only single one going.
I feel that, Kirsten, though, because that's how I am at mine. We don't have like anywhere we go. But literally,
but do you want a +1, Kirsten? Oh, just rub it in my fucking face. Thank you.
Yeah.
But anyway, my mom was like, Kirsten, I wasn't talking about any of just +1, just your roommate, Kate.
Woohoo!
So now she's going to my family dinner.
I'm actually really excited, though. Her family's so fun. And that is my exact type of vibe. Like, we're going to go to a dinner. And we're going to have a good time.
And we're just going to eat and really...
Yeah. And there's nothing I love more than a fucking steak.
Yeah. I probably will get steak and crab, though, because that's actually also what I love.
So, to round out the episode 1.
What's this podcast going to be called?
I feel like
K and K.
K and K.
I call it Kirsten Cam if I'm
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. Welcome back to the Krusty Krab.
We have 2 kittens, and we are cool cats. That's TBD.
The name is loading.
We're gonna go.
We could take 10 minutes just sitting here thinking about it. Ask me anything, and I'll ask you anything.
I have 10 million fucking bug bites on my body, so if you see me scratching, it's because I literally have so many bug bites on my body. I just went to Florida. What is your bucket list place to travel and visit?
Currently, I have an obsession with Jackson Hole, Wyoming. I need to go there right now. Like, I literally was planning a trip today. Okay. Like, I was looking at hotels.
Winter vibes or summer vibes? Okay, winter vibes.
Yeah, I think like...
So skiing?
I don't know. Not skiing, but like colder weather. Like...
Would I be able to ski?
Oh, well, if I was going in the winter, I'd be skiing too. Okay. But I mean, like, I feel like I want like a March, like not a summer.
March, you still ski?
That is true.
Their skiing season's a lot longer than us.
Yeah, I was gonna say especially in the West Coast. But I feel like at some point, I just want to go and like walk around and be normal. But like I don't do good in hot weather, so it needs to just be like fall weather or like spring weather. I think total bucket list, like end all be all. I've been around Europe a little bit, but I really want to go to Bali. Oh, that is like really up there for me. But that's just like if you're talking bucket list item of the world. Fair. Yeah. How about you?
Great question. I've also traveled quite a bit of the world. I guess my bucket list would be, because I haven't been to this continent yet, besides Antarctica, I don't think I'd ever go unless I go on like a science excursion. It would be Africa. I would love to do a safari excursion there.
That would be amazing, actually. Yeah, I'll go to Africa with you.
Thanks. 2030 vibes.
Okay, 2030, I'm down. Let's go with our kids.
I'm not bringing a child there. This is mommy's.
Okay, wait, let's get our husbands first. We'll bring our husbands with us to Africa.
How far away? 7 years. I hope I marry.
7 years.
But yeah, I would say Africa. So I've been to Europe. I've been to a couple places in Europe, and I would love to go back to them. They're all great places that I've been to.
Yeah.
I've been to Asia. I do want to see more Asia, but I would have to say Africa. You know?
Yeah.
And I don't know what part is best because there's Egypt that I would love to see, but I know it's just different rules for different parts in Africa because it's such a huge continent, you know?
My question for you is going to be just like a random one. Now that you're a couple months into like living in the city, going to work, your routine of like after school vibes, how are you feeling?
Oh, I'm great.
Yay!
Oh my gosh, I love it so much.
That's good.
The stress level between school vibes and working vibes, like my biggest stressor is having an hour.
Will I get to Pilates on time?
Yeah. Like literally commuting. Will I get to Pilates? Like that's my biggest stressor, and if that's my biggest stressor in life, that's not bad at all. Like I was not sleeping, I was not eating it at school.
I feel like you and I are the same way in that because I agree. Like I've loved the after school. I mean, obviously I've been in it for a while, but like I love the structure. I love the routine. Yeah. I love like
that's
everything like that.
Living in Philly is so like I just love the city atmosphere, and I think New York is too big for me personally. I think Philly is more manageable. I love the area we live in. I love that it's close enough to walk to a lot of different places if we so choose. I have lots of bucket list items to do in Philly now that I live here. I got
a new coffee shop for us. It just opened in the city, so we'll have to check it out.
Yeah. I want to check out the Cherry Street Tavern.
I love the Cherry Street Tavern.
BYOB down in Old City. Yep. I want to do Sin. Like, there's so many different places that they're on my bucket list.
There's a lot of good places in Philly, especially like restaurants and stuff. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that because sometimes I feel like people either like graduate and they're bored or they love it.
I feel like I'm too busy, essentially. But I moved in the summer where fall it gets so packed because you're trying. I feel like as soon as like April hits, it's every week is going to be packed until holidays. And so like I really want to enjoy the city, even though it's winter, so it's colder. I want to enjoy the city in January and February.
I love January, February. Walking around the city, like I think I did that every single weekend of January and February last year because the Christmas Village clears out, but it's still open. So you can like walk through. Ice skating at the river rink and like
one of my favorite days in the city was us just like, hey, let's eat at a pizza shop right here.
That was so fun that day.
So fun. It's so random, and it's just like we live in the city, we can do this. Like I can't do that at State College because I have to fucking drive.
100%.
What's your favorite cookie?
I really like pretzels too, actually.
Okay, but you don't make it with anise.
Yeah, I don't love the anise because it's like
I might do a little less anise than I normally like just to appease the general public.
I don't hate it, but I think because my mom didn't make it with anise growing up, that tastes normal to me.
I grew up on anise, so
like if I eat it,
Black House.
I'm not like oh, what is this? Like I'm like, oh, that's an anise. It is anise. Yeah. I do like zuccherinis too. You know what the Italian sugar cookie looking things.
Oh yeah. I think we call them something.
I think there's a couple names for them.
Yeah.
But I love those too.
I can make ricotta cookies too.
And we have ricotta. In all seriousness, not to be sappy for 2 minutes, but I'm trying to think of like how to say this. I'm not naive. Like I know that like all the content stuff that I do, it's so fun for me. It's such a good hobby. But like
I love it too though.
Thank you. Yeah. But I was gonna say I know like that it doesn't really go far. Like only a couple people see it. And like some random
you don't know, one day it could.
Yeah, and like some random people see it. Like I have a lot of followers, I don't know all of them, whatever. But it's hard to like
gotta start somewhere.
Constantly support people at that level, and I always feel the constant support from you, and like it's fun, and you're not like, oh, she's pulling up the camera again, or like, can we just not film this?
Like my roommate's an influencer, and they go, oh my gosh, how many followers? I'm like, doesn't matter, she gets free shit.
No, literally, that's the craziest part. But they even say like even the brands that have sent me stuff say what they look for is consistency, and that's like what I have, like consistency and raw, organic, like natural content. Yeah. So I don't know, it means a lot that you support not only like the vlogs but everything. And one of my favorite things to do is just like look back on them. Like me and Beth were watching my old Vlogmas vlogs, and we were like, that's so cute. Like we did that last year. Thank you. Oh. It's Seven's 3rd year too, guys. It's her
Happy
3rd
birthday, Seven.
Seven, is it your birthday on Christmas?
Kris Kringle.
Yeah, she came with the name Kris Kringle. Well, on that little sappy note, I feel like we've probably hit about an hour. It was fun though. I feel like we just naturally talked for that long.
We're also just talking to each other.
I know. Well, that's what a podcast is, right? Like, we did it.
No, this is great.
We really did it.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. We'll see you guys back here
If
next
you have
week.
any questions that we should talk about in our next, we have a couple ideas.
Also, we could just call it the leather couch. The big comfy couch. We can call it the little leather couch.
The little. Because it's not comfy. There's one thing true about this entire apartment. Our couch is aesthetically pleasing.
But guess what? It was free. And that's why it's here, baby.
It's like over $1,000.
And I'm not gonna lie, it looks really good in the room.
It looks really good. It fits really well.
But if we're not sitting literally the exact way we are now,
we're not sitting on it. I eat on the floor. Let's just say that. Like we eat on the floor. Yeah. So the little leather couch.
Welcome back to the little leather couch. I'm obsessed. That's the name. Little leather couch. Vlogmas day.
17.
No.
12. 13. 14. 15.
Today's the 12th and it'll be posted on the 13th. So Vlogmas day 13, the little leather couch. Bye.